I think 2025 could become the most important year of your life, but only if you're showing up, only if you're consistent and active every day. I can show you the exact way I would take to become a millionaire. I already have taken it, so you have the proof that it works. So I promise you, if you're sticking to these ways, you will become successful. So let's not lose time and start right into it. This is one of the biggest misconceptions nowadays. Opportunities like now are very, very rare. But people are not here to see that the opportunities here are bigger than ever before. People have to show up to see it. If they won't show up, they are not able to take these opportunities. So be prepared. The opportunities I will show you are very, very big. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. So yeah, I really think that most of the people already have given up on 2025. But as already said, those who show up, those who stick with it, will be rewarded. So congratulations, you are one of the winners. Before we go into the strategies, a quick word about me. Finance has always fascinated me. I've been working in finance now since 15 years. After my first payday, I decided to put my hard-saved money into a Bitcoin ATM, and so I bought my first 5 Bitcoin. And this was maybe the start of my journey in the crypto space. And then maybe a year later, we started into my first bull run. 2017, my first bull run happened, and it was really, really crazy for me because my initial investment of 5,000 euros quickly became 5 figures and then later on 6 figures. I stayed at my job until 2021. And in 2021, I decided if I want to go all in crypto, I have to do it now because something interesting came up, something called DeFi, decentralized finance. I've seen ways and strategies where you can earn with crypto more money than I made in my real job. So I decided to quit my job and completely focus on crypto and DeFi. And this is how I managed to build up a $1 million portfolio in DeFi. And since then, I've been living exclusively off the passive income generated by my DeFi strategies. But why do most of the private investors fail, and why are they not even able to outperform the markets? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The biggest problem for sure is that the private investor is investing in typically retail asset classes. For example, he's investing in his saving accounts, yeah? And you can imagine what will happen to that money. Or he's saving money on his savings book or on his life insurance or in any other form of building savings contracts. You know, this is how you lose money. This is how your money is lost. So you won't do that because the returns of these typical asset classes are really, really, really bad. As you can see, the annual return on these investment classes is really, really bad. On the savings book, it's maybe 0.5%. On fixed deposits, it's maybe 1.5%. On government bonds, it's maybe 2%. On corporate bonds, should it be 4%? On ETFs, maybe 6%. On stocks, up to 7%. This is not really good. This is a return for the average investor of 2.1% a year. With these kinds of returns, you're not even able to outperform the inflation. But the even bigger problem than bad returns are drawdowns. A drawdown is easy explained. Drawdowns are the percentage losses from your investment from its highest point to the subsequent lowest point. If you're a crypto investor, you for sure know what drawdowns are and how they feel like. But also in the typical retail asset classes, you also could face drawdowns. For example, on government bonds, it was in the last 30 years up to minus 10%, corporate bonds up to minus 20%, ETFs up to minus 50%, stocks up to minus 60%. So your portfolio loses half of its worth from one day to the other. So you really have to ask yourself, are you able to sleep peacefully now? I'm not. So I'm not even trying. I was searching for a few years for these ways to earn money without drawdowns. And later in 2021, I found these ways. What do you notice when you see the average annual return? There, where you get a little bit more reward, there you got even bigger drawdowns. And this is not how we want to do it. And depending on the time of your investment, even Bitcoin doesn't always perform better either. If you, for example, invested in 2021 in Bitcoin, for example, at 30K, your yearly return would be 48%, but even you could face drawdowns of 87%. Yeah, and this is crazy. 87% on a drawdown. Most of the people would not have managed that and would have maybe sold. If you're investing in crypto coins, you have to ask yourself two things. Do you think you're capable of perfectly timing the market? I'm not, so I'm not even trying. And do you think that Bitcoin will be able to achieve the same percentage in returns in the next 10 years as it already did in the past 10 years? Not gonna happen. So one thing should be clear to everybody by now. The typical asset classes do not offer an attractive risk-reward ratio for the average retail investor. To build wealth, an investment strategy needs two things. This is maximum on returns and minimal drawdowns. Therefore, the question arises, is it even possible for a private investor to build wealth in the financial markets? In my old job in the banking sector, I had a moment when everything became clear. Double-digit returns are generated every year, but they don't reach the private investor. As you can see, banks earn a lot of money on your money. What is the average return of banks on customer deposits? Here you can see it black on white. Banks are earning billions on your money. Even the ECB is making 10% in return in quarter. So in conclusion, banks earn billions on your money and you don't get to see a penny. And this made me think, how can we act like banks? So I asked myself, what opportunities do we as retail investors have to achieve such returns? The solution that became clear to me was decentralized finance, or DeFi. In DeFi, when you send money, there is no profit taken from you, like when you send money in traditional ways to your bank, over your provider, to the bank of the receiver. Everyone takes a piece of your cake. In decentralized finance, money is sent peer to peer, and so is the returns. You don't need no centralized organizations in DeFi. Everything you build, you can build directly on the blockchain in so-called smart contracts. And this is why in DeFi you can act like the bank. You are the bank. This is the biggest advantage in DeFi. The returns stay always with you. You can borrow money, you can lend money, you can bet that the price is going up, you can bet that the price is going down. You can do both at the same time. You can act like a hedge fund and you can earn money like a bank. This is what we are doing. This is how I am earning my money, and so can you. Everything you already know, from money to banking to exchanges to broker to insurance to payment systems, everything you can imagine is already in decentralized finance. You just have to look for the right places. You just have to use the strategies. You just have to be here to show up and take the chances. And this is exactly how I am able to achieving 60% a year of return by DeFi. You have to understand, DeFi offers more opportunities than any other asset class. But how do the opportunities look like? One thing you have to understand, in DeFi, you can make returns in any market phase. For example, when everything is bullish, you can do so-called funding rate farming. You can earn up to 300% when you just simply buy a coin. The long traders are longing and paying lots of fees for these long trades. You just buy the coin spot and short it at the same time. So you're neutral and just go for the fees that the long traders are paying every hour on decentralized exchanges. You can get these fees, this so-called funding fees. This is what I'm doing in bullish market sentiments. In the DeFi space, there is a lot of decentralized marketplaces and exchanges. Every decentralized exchange has their own oracle, so it could be possible that there are price differences between these little markets, and these price differences you can use to your advantage. This is called arbitrage. We also can use arbitrages in very volatile times. What we do nowadays a lot is so-called airdrop farming. You participate in different blockchains and DeFi protocols very early, so you get a piece of cake when they launch their token. So you get their token for free when it launches, and this is very, very interesting. In the last year, I made over $1 million just by airdrop farming. Because in the last year, I got an airdrop from Hyperliquid. This is a decentralized futures exchange where I'm building my strategies. And this is just one of many. But the average airdrop for the average user was nearly 30K. So nearly everyone who used the platform Hyperliquid got the airdrop of 30K. I, on my hand, got an airdrop for 100K, but the coin launched at $3 and went up to $30. So my 100K airdrop became a $1 million airdrop. This was not a lucky shot. This was one of many airdrops I already received. I received airdrops from Uniswap, from ApeCoin, from DYDX, from Arbitrum, from Celestia, from LuxRare, from 1inch, from Optimism, from Blur2. Then I got an airdrop from Memecoin. I got an airdrop from Pyth. I got an airdrop, another one from Optimism. And for sure one from Hop and Spectra. As you can see, this is no lucky shots. This is why I'm using a lot of airdrop protocols now, new protocols that will get you new coins when they're coming out. For example, like Resolve, where we're earning points every day. We can exchange then for the airdrop. Another example is Turtle Club, which is a very nice example, and the new Sonic blockchain, where you also are collecting points that you can exchange for the token. But this is just a few examples. There are many, many more. So this is why I'm telling you, take the chances now. And if you don't have enough money, you can also loop your money. So you deposit money in a lending market, you borrow, you deposit, you borrow, you deposit. This is how you build leverage on your money you're holding spot. So it seems like you're farming the airdrop with more money than you have, so you can earn more points, for example, and this is how your airdrop will become bigger. And also, if you don't get the token airdropped for free, there is also some pre-sales where you can buy the token beforehand, before everyone is able to buy the token, because you are using the protocols, you are using the blockchains, you have always the advantage because you're here, you're active. And this is exactly what is making the difference. You have to be here, you have to show up, you have to use the technology. And if you use it, you will be rewarded. I can promise you. So I've been in crypto now since 2016. I was here, I was showing up, I was consistent every day. And if you're consistent, if you stick to these strategies, I can show you that you will become a millionaire too. How? All you gotta do is to use the compound effect. Because in DeFi, you can use the compound effect like nowhere else, because you don't speculate. In DeFi, you can use the compound effect like nowhere else, because you're not gambling. We are only building our hedged strategies where we never lose money. So let's say you are starting DeFi with 10K and are making roughly 50% a year, which is really easy possible. Let's do this for 10 years and calculate. So you can see everyone can become a millionaire in DeFi. This is because of the interest effect. You have to compound the interest effect, so everyone can build $1 million portfolio with these strategies. What is really important for you is that you stick to the strategies, that you don't gamble with your money. The opportunity cost of gambling with your money is much too high. So you don't want to lose money ever. This is like Warren Buffett said, never lose money. Look for ways to always generate money week to week. Your portfolio grows. And this is what DeFi makes possible. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help always. So smash the like button, leave a follow. See you in the next video.